Welcome to the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayanna. When can you listen to the Sister Speak Show? At 7 p.m. Central. Tune in on the go or at your residence show. Spreaker, YouTube, Alexa, or SoundCloud. Interviewing special guests that have been blessed and will bless us. Through spoken word and awareness, knowledge is felt if you gain it. Share this in the streets, in the burbs, anywhere that we can be heard. It's about that time to elevate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. It's about that time to stimulate your mind. Feel the beat, Sister Speak. Come and eat a spiritual treat. Brothers and sisters, welcome to the to the Laugh Line on the tour. I am Ayanna, the host, creator, and producer of the Sister Speak Show. Kingdom Child Recordings is the executive producer of the Sister Speak Show. And I am so happy that you are listening live this evening to the Laugh Line. Oh, we are going to have a good time. You know, laughter is good for the soul, don't you? Well, guess what? I've been thinking about you. I know you've had a long week. I know it's been rough. I know the pop-off almost happened about 50 times this week. I know you had to restrain yourself. I know you've been going through some things. And I know you also are having to recover from all of the activities that occurred at the end of 2017. It's 2018, brothers and sisters. Let's start it off by laughing, correct? So listen, you're listening to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show. The Sister Speak Show for my first-time listeners, and welcome to all of my regular listeners. The Sister Speak Show is a 6-segment podcast consisting of the platform coming to the stage, the culture climate, the tour, the Laugh Line, as well as the search effort. Okay. So you're saying to yourself, wow, that's a lot. It sure is, but guess what? We can handle it. We can do it. And it's here for you. We are dedicated, completely dedicated towards providing something that you can always listen to, you know? So let me just explain just a little bit. So what's going to happen is when you listen to these segments on the Sister Speak Show, you're going to be able to catch special guest interviews, live on location reports, live performances, in-studio interviews, and the special guest. Oh my gosh, the special guests who come on the Sister Speak Show are absolutely the dopest special guests that any host of a show could ever have. I mean, they are dynamic. And not only that, they are impacting the communities with their passions. You know, it's all about operating in your gift. It is all about loving what you do. Okay, so my special guests, they're from all over. You don't know what city they're going to be calling in from, but the beautiful thing about it is they all have one thing in common. They are phenomenal. And I like to extract the elements from them. Oh, you're not going to catch just a regular interview. I mean, we really vibe out. So you really are in good hands when you are listening to the Sister Speak Show. So the Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, and encouraged. It is all about that. Look, we all need to be informed. We need to be energized, and we need to be encouraged. It's crucial out here in this world. And what better way to be able to get a healthy dosed? What is dosed? How do you spell dosed? D-O-S-T. I like to buy a vowel and a consonant. I'd like to buy an E, and I'd like to buy a D. I mean, what is dosed? What is it anyway? A healthy dose, D-O-S-E, of entertainment that is not reckless. So just get this. We are a cultural renaissance platform, okay, that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should B, no reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. We don't go dumb, we go wisdom. We highly encourage thinking. We highly encourage non-zombie-like behavior on the Sister Speak show. You know, this is not your typical podcast, okay? You don't know what I'm gonna say. Sometimes you don't know what the guests are gonna say, or even if they're gonna say anything at all. It just depends on who the special guest is. But anyway, brothers and sisters, we don't go dumb. We go wisdom. And that's very, very crucial. And so I just thank you so much for listening to this 6th segment. How you spell segment? Segment. Anyway, brothers and sisters, this 6th segment podcast is dedicated to you. So I don't know where you're listening from, but guess what? If you create an account on Spreaker Radio, okay, you can chat live with me, and I'd love to chat live with you. Just keep it righteous. Do not enter into a chat that you're not ready for with me, okay? Just kind of like a disclaimer, okay? And you know what? While we're talking about it, brothers and sisters, let me explain to you what you're going to be listening to this evening. On the Laugh Line tonight, we are going to talk about why we laugh. We're going to listen to some comedic clips, and then we're going to have Is She Funny? A 10-minute sit-down comedy with me. I just said it. I mean, you know, I just figured, look, the last time I think it went off pretty well. You know, I kind of felt a little bad about saying ain't nothing like some senior citizen funk. You know, I wasn't trying to be rude. You know, my mother is in that category. So I probably should have just said ain't nothing like some funk, because, you know, I'm not here to offend anybody, you know, with jokes or anything like that. But, you know, we gotta laugh. Some things are true. Some things will apply to you. Sometimes they won't, you know, but we want to get out of our bag, and we just want to have a great time. So if you got your listening tickets, guess what? We are ready to roll, my brothers and sisters. So listen, when it comes to laughing, I mean, we all have heard laughs that are contagious, right? You know, you could be sitting somewhere and somebody laugh, and they start laughing. Next thing you know, you start laughing just because the way that they laugh is funny, right? It's nothing like being able to come to a show and the comedian is on stage, whether it's a male or a female, and they are just on the stage kicking it and just relating to every aspect of your life. You know, great storyteller, full of energy, you know, full of rawness, you know, clean, you have some comedians that just go there. But for the most part, you know, just a great show. You know, it's nothing like being in the midst of that action. You know, somebody saying something that's absolutely true. Like I can sit there and say, you know, such and such and such and such, and you'd be like, you know what, you are so true. Let me tell you about the time when we all got stories that are funny. Some of us are funnier than others. But the beautiful gift about humor is this. You are able to say something to somebody that is funny who is having a horrible day. Challenging day, down on their feelings, you know, just really bummed out. And then you come by and you say something that's funny and you are lighting up their day. And they say, you know what? I needed that laugh. Have you ever heard somebody say that to you? I needed that laugh. Oh my gosh, you came at the right time. Girl, thank you for calling me. Brother, thank you for calling me. You know, I really needed that laugh. And so that's what it's about. Comedians do play a significant role for some people who need healing, right? Laughter is good for the soul. So that means that there's some points in your life where your soul is like doing bad. So laughter is good for the soul. So listen, I was perusing through YouTube and I was able to come across some really good clips that talk about comedy from our perspective. You know, brothers and sisters who are comedians who have been in the game for a long time, have receptive audiences, and can provide a great laugh. You know, I used to tell jokes back in the day, but you know, as I have matured, I realized that there's some jokes Ayanna, you cannot say that. You know, there are some jokes that if I say it, you know, you probably need to, you know, drive-by jokes, you know, to make sure nobody comes after you. Because I used to make up some jokes, and I used to tell some that I had heard. And you know, as I get older, like as I mature, That's the word I'll say. As I mature, I just know that some things, even if they're funny, you probably shouldn't say it. You know, I know sometimes when I'm sitting with my husband, I say some things and he says some things and I blame him for saying it and he blames me for saying it. So, you know, we like to laugh and we like to set the atmosphere. So I was running across a clip, tongue twisters tonight, and it's called Being a Black Female Comic, Why We Laugh. So this is presented by Code Black Comedy. Now, Code Black Comedy is on YouTube, and you'll be able to, you know,
a black female comic is going to say preconceived notions. Absolutely. She's going to be blue. She's going to be dirty. And that's what they think. And I tell you a story, it was so funny, is that Larry David, we were in the car doing Curb Your Enthusiasm, and all the time we were just driving, he was like, what's your comedy like? He was like, is it blue? And I said, because I was like, oh, I don't want him to think I'm blue. I was like, no, it's not. He was like, I like blue. I was like, okay, it's blue, but it was too late then. I was like, because I turned the preconceived notions around to him. I was like, oh, he's going to think we're blue. He was like, I like blue comedy. So with black females, there's nothing to really be ashamed of, but this is the thing with black female comics that people don't understand. Where did we start? LaWanda Page started with Red Fox. She opened up for him. We are in these seedy clubs. It's not like females just started. We started with the blue comedy. Come on now. We started, they never put females up until after midnight. What are we going to talk to the audience about, the drunk audience? You're going to talk about sex, rock and roll, and whatever else. You're not going to talk about your children. So I believe that, yes, we might have started off blue because that's what we learned, and that's where we were in the clubs at night with men. But I believe that there's all types of black female comics, political, blue. I think they should be able to talk about anything they want to. Or we should be able to talk about anything we want to talk about. If my life is blue and that's where I feel like I'm at, then I'm going to talk about it. If I feel like I want to talk about politics, then I can talk about it. I think there are a lot of intelligent female comics. Black, white, green, purple, polka dots. I haven't seen one with polka dots yet, but I know they're out there.
Have I ever felt the need to represent for black people? Like, do I feel like that's a burden in my comedy? Do I feel like I have to represent? I never think of it as a burden. You know, I don't think of it as a burden, but I do think, if I'm going to be 100% honest, that there is, you know, a small part of me that, you know, is conscious of wanting to, you know, represent well for my peoples. And, you know, that's the truth. You know, that doesn't dominate, you know, my thought processes, or, you know, I don't think that, you know, it, you know, like I said, it doesn't take front and center of my life or anything, but it is something that I'm aware of and something that I'm proud to do. You know, I want to represent. I want to represent positively and, you know, reflect back, you know, all the glory.
When I first started out as a comedian, people had a very specific set of expectations about what kind of comedy I was going to do, which was really like Big Black Woman, Def Comedy Jam. And it was also when Def Comedy Jam was like kind of getting really hot. And so the expectations were very specific, that we were all, you know, ladies and the nannies, you know what I mean? I don't even know. That was the worst impression of, who was that? Apparently I need to go to some more black meetings. And I had to spend the first 10 minutes of every show explaining why I talk like this, explaining why I was different, explaining, you know, to people, hey, I'm like you, but different, and it's okay, we can be different, but all black people are not the same black people. Because in fact, the black audiences are more judgmental than the white ones when it comes to what they expect out of a black comic. And that those were the audiences that I struggled in front of the most, you know. And also, and a lot of other comics will tell you this, and I have a male comic who's Caucasian who works black clubs all the time, and what he says is they'll give a white comic the benefit of the doubt because, white people are crazy, so who cares what they do? But if you're black, you have got to hit these 10 touch points or you didn't get the job done. And Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock and Reggie Watts and all these guys that are so hot right now would never have made it on Def Comedy Jam back then. They didn't fit that mold because it was so specific and it was so narrow and it was so self-defeating. Like that black comedy can only be one thing. White comics have always had the freedom to just be whatever, be weird, be strange, be conventional, be clean, be dirty. But for so long, black comedy has been one thing. And I don't even know if that's changed. I've stopped worrying about it.
Brothers and sisters, you just got through listening to being a black female comic, and it just was giving a perspective of what it is like to work in that industry, a male-dominated industry, trying to make your way and make your presence known, then having to, whether you want to or not, compete against other comedians. That has to be a lot of pressure and a lot of stress at some point in time, for someone to have to, figure it out and be like, gosh, is this what I need to do? Or is the audience going to be receptive? And then, am I going to have to dumb myself down? Or, is there only one way that we can come out as comedians? I've never really thought about that perspective. I know I've always heard people tell me, you're funny, you should do stand-up comedy, this, that, and the third, but I know it's an art. You just can't get up there and tell jokes. I can't just get up there and just be like, knock, knock. A knock-knock joke is good every now and again, but, knock-knocks, that's really like primary age. You got to have some real hold the audience. These people have invested in your, comedic talent, and they are expecting you to deliver on the money, so it's very interesting. But anyway, brothers and sisters, we're going to be right back after this commercial break.
The Sister Speak Show, Tuesday, January 2nd, coming to the stage. Wednesday, January 3rd, the premiere of The Search Effort. Thursday, January 4th, The Culture Climate. Friday, January 5th, The Laugh Line. Saturday, January 6th, The Tour with Ms. Stiletto. And Sunday, January 7th, The Platform with Danielle Lee. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show. Tonight we're talking about why we laugh. We're going to be listening to some comedic clips. And is she funny? A 10-minute sit-down comedy with me. So anyway, brothers and sisters, we have to have a equal perspective on why we laugh. So here we have Why We Laugh, Black Comedians on Black Comedy. And this is once again brought to you by, this is actually brought to you by the Comedy Station.
And heroic self-disclosure. In 1986, a man with just these qualities hit the stage running. His name, Chris Rock.
Chris was this little skinny dude. I think that people just was like, this little dude is crazy. He's not supposed to be able to stand up there with this kind of confidence.
When I started, there was no Def Jam. There's no UPN, WB. You had to figure out how to make other people laugh besides black people when I started. So a guy like Murphy, a guy like Pryor, or me, or Dave, or whatever, it's like baseball. We had to swing two bats on the on-deck circle. Today's performer, younger black performers, because television's so segregated now, they don't really have to do that. So you get a lot of guys that kind of only appeal to black audiences.
Sure, they shouldn't be calling insurance. They should just call it in case shit. And I give a company some money in case shit happens. Now, if shit don't happen, shouldn't I get my money back?
So many of these black comics out here today, they only listen to other black comedians. They don't have any range and any depth. Like, if you're an artist, you're drawing influences from any and everywhere. And you can tell that in Chris's comedy, which is why he has no peer.
And now we got no leaders. When something happens, we make the shit bigger than it is. Shit's big, but don't make it bigger than it is. I'm watching the news and like Tupac Shakur was assassinated. Biggie Smalls assassinated. struck down by assassins, bullets assassinated. Like, no, they wasn't. Martin Luther King was assassinated. Malcolm X was assassinated. John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Then 2 niggas got shot.
People in show business are always worried, what's my next job? Comedian, I know my next job. My next job's talking about you. My next job's examining, the human condition and bringing light to it.
Chris Rock is the young Jedi master. He elevates the game.
Chris does a very smart routine. In fact, he was mentioning things that the audience didn't know about. He had a very interesting point of view on wealth versus being rich and stuff like your wealth deviant. It's very, very good stuff. I actually said, man, you're educating these people. You know what I mean? I actually said that, and we talked, and I said, what do you read? He says, well, I read 3 newspapers a day. I have in my contract that I have to, when I get picked up, I got to have 3 newspapers in the limo. And I read nothing but nonfiction. And I remember thinking, well, here's a cat who has got a GED, but he's interested in developing his mind, and as a result, his humor reflects that.
They ain't curing AIDS. Shit. They ain't never cured AIDS. They ain't never cured AIDS. Don't even think about that shit. They ain't cured AIDS because ain't no money in the cure. The money's in the medicine. That's how you get paid on the comeback.
Chris Rock has said things that I have used in speeches. There's so much truth in what he says that you get the comedy and at the same time you get the serious message.
Well, if I celebrate anybody, it would be a guy like a Chris Rock, whose comedic genius resides in the ability, both in his films but also in his stand-up, to tell the truth about the underside of American practices as well as African-American practices. And if the future of black comedy has any powerful function, it is in what a guy like a Chris Rock is able to do.
If I ever get married, I have to go off to the woods of Africa.
Oh, here we go. Okay, brothers and sisters. So that was a short clip about comedian Chris Rock. Now, I'm sure most of you all have seen his comedy, and the brother is funny. He started out doing acting he's been in the game for a long time. And one of the things that separates Chris Rock from most people is, I think, the fact that he is definitely not politically correct. However, well, I'm not saying no. Let me retract this statement. He is not politically correct. Most comedians are not, and he's intelligent. And so you mix humor with intelligence and you've got a really great show. And so, it's nothing like hearing the truth and somebody being willing to say what somebody else might not be bold enough to say. Like if somebody walks in the room and they stink or they're woofing, because that's what we used to call it back in the day, woofing, humming, coming at you. If somebody walks in the room and they stank, there is going to be 1 or 2 people and they would say, look, somebody in here stank. And there is going to be 15 other people in the room like, woo, I'm glad you said it. We can get this investigation on the way. We can figure out who it is in here tearing the paint off the walls, creating an unhealthy atmosphere for our breathing. There's always a group of people waiting for somebody to say it, and they're always, and the one who is the boldest is the one who usually is sent to go and deliver the bad news. Hey, Dante. Hi, we've noticed how bold you've been, and we were just wondering if you could go over there and let Charmaine know that she stinks and that every time she comes in, it smells like we are in Seattle at the Bay. And if you could just tell her that, then, because we know that she won't do anything to you, and now Dante got to go over there and be like, look, they over there saying like you smell like the catch of the day and you need to do something about it. Now she's crying. Now Dante has to go to work sensitivity classes, right? They always want to throw you in a workshop. They always want to throw you in a workshop. Look, I don't want to work on this. Okay. I ain't the one who you need to take her to the bath shop. If I'm going to go to a workshop, could you please put her in a bath shop? Why don't they have bath shops? Bath shops available for people who smell so bad, who need to work on their hygiene. And then you have a group of mentors in there with hazmat outfits on and you have some safety tubs, safety soap, safety bubbles, and a safety scrub. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, pass out some curriculum on bathing. I'm serious. I talk about it all the time because I just feel like bathing is very crucial. And, you know, nobody should ever skip out on giving their body the best that they can give it, right? Anyway, so they're always looking for somebody bold enough to get on the microphone and keep it 100, you know, and to be able to get on stage and to tell it like a T.I. is. You know, it has to be somebody to get on stage and be like, look, George Bush Jr. waved at Stevie Wonder. I'm serious. He really did. George Bush Jr. waved at Stevie Wonder. Now, there are some IQ tests that you can just give right on the spot, obviously, because, you know, I mean, anybody can be president, I guess. You know, I used to want to be president, but I'm so glad that I got out of my dreams and stepped into reality. First of all, $200,000 ain't enough. It's not enough. I don't care how many endorsements you give me. It's not enough to step on into the White House and deal with all of what they got going on. I'm just being honest about that because, number one, I'm not getting on Air Force One. And I'm not flying around to go meet with anybody. I don't feel like it. I don't want to meet with anybody from any country to talk about anything. That's just me, number one. Number two, we got to rearrange this whole setup here. There's a lot of things that I would not comply with, and ultimately they would have to put me out because number one, I don't want to be king. I just want to be queen. Oh, goodness. Anyway, brothers and sisters. So listen, we're listening to The Laugh Line. I'm your host, Ayanna, and we are going to continue to roll on with Why We Laugh, Black Comedians,
along with Gregory Fox,
Eddie Murphy. But before we do that, brothers and sisters, we are going to take another commercial break. Last time I took a commercial break, I had some technical difficulties, but I'm not going to have technical difficulties this time. So here we go.
This is Ayanna, and I want you to listen.
Psych! Here we go, brothers and sisters.
Brothers and sisters, I want you to listen live to the tour this Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The tour is a show dedicated to the entire aspect of the music industry. My special guest live from Miami, Florida, SDYP, the movement recording artist, Miss Stiletto. Oh, this is going to be a dope show. This is the Speak Show, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Welcome back to The Laugh Line. I am your host, Ayanna, and we are going to listen to a clip called Why We Laugh, Black Comedians on Black Comedy. So if you are just tuning in, we are having a 3-part discussion. Well, a 3-part show. Why We Laugh, and then not only that, comedic clips, which you're kind of getting the comedic clips in Why We Laugh, and then a 10-minute comedy sit down with me called Is She Funny? Okay, brothers and sisters, here we go. Black Comedians on Black Comedy, focusing on Eddie Murphy. Personally, one of my favorite top 5 comedians. Here we go.
Pryor helped set the stage for a global explosion of black comedy and black culture. The only question was who would step to the mic and set the whole thing off.
Eddie Murphy! Fuck you!
Sorry.
Fuck you, Eddie!
Richard Pryor was Julius Erving. Eddie Murphy was Michael Jordan.
And somebody throw you a cracker, you're gonna be like this. God damn, that's the best cracker I ate in my life. That ain't no regular cracker, was it? What was that, saltine? God damn, that was delicious. That wasn't no saltine, no, that was Ritz. That wasn't no Ritz. I said, God, that's the best cracker I ate in my life.
Well, Eddie Murphy had the benefit of coming, behind Richard Pryor. And the same way that Lenny Bruce broke down barriers for Pryor, Pryor broke down barriers for Eddie Murphy. I am one who always felt that Eddie Murphy was compared to Richard Pryor, but the comparison was inappropriate. Murphy's material was never political. He cursed a lot, and he told, funny stories and had funny observations, but he's not someone you think of as a political comedian.
If I ever get married, I have to go off to the woods of Africa and find me some crazy, naked zebra bitch. That knows nothing about money. She got to be butt naked on a zebra with a big bone in her nose and a big plate lip and a big fucked up afro.
To me, he was a lighter Richard Pryor. You know, he did all the voices and all the mime stuff, but it was talking about not dark stuff, but fun stuff.
Eddie! Eddie! I want to talk to you!
When Eddie Murphy's doing comedy, there's just way less racial tension in America. So there's no need to even get that deep. Richard Pryor probably did it a little better. Bill Cosby did a little different. You can argue about who's the best. There's never been a bigger stand-up comedian, black or white, than Eddie Murphy.
Now turn around, I'm gonna frisk you. Are you carrying any concealed weapons? Are you carrying? What is this? What is this?
Raw, it is the most successful concert movie in history.
Murphy was able to capitalize on this changing sentiment in society around black culture. This is the time when Spike Lee emerges. This is the time when Run DMC, takes hip-hop to the masses.
When I showed my the first cut came back, and the ratings board gave us a XXX rating because of language, because Eddie was cursing, grabbing his dick, and all this stuff. So then I remember we had this meeting, and I can't remember was it at Eddie's house or was it at Paramount, but it was the ratings board, the lawyers from Paramount, and we had to go through, and I had to re-edit the movie. And it was like this surrealistic meeting where they had counted every curse word and we went through this whole thing of, you got 48, fucks, you got 49 motherfuckers, 3 dick grabs, and so and so. And then there was negotiation going on, and then it was like, we need to cut a bitch here. And it was like, no, I need that bitch, and Eddie was like, I need that bitch. I'll give you 2 motherfuckers for that 1 bitch. And then you can grab, I need the dick grab. I need 3 dick grabs. Okay, I give you 1 dick grab if you give me 4 bitches. I'll give you the cocksucker. I'll throw in the cocksucker. Okay. And we went through this whole thing with all, okay, he just gave us 2 cocksuckers and 4 bitches. I think that equals out. No. You said give us the motherfucker back. You want the motherfucker, or do you want us to have the motherfucker? We take the motherfucker back. And so we went through this whole thing, with the ratings board. And then by the time it was done, they were like, it's an R.
Richard was always bold in his comedy stand-up and in his albums, but they never let him be the bold brother in the movies. Eddie came along, first bold black comedian in film. As it went in society, so it went on the big screen, where black men could be funny, shrewd, daring, and able, yet still not openly display their power and take charge. Eddie Murphy changed that dynamic forever with one scene from one movie.
I remember watching 48 Hours, and the scene where he goes into that bar, that he puts the cowboy hat on, and he says there's a new sheriff in town. The audience went crazy, and I sat there going, he's a superstar. There is a new sheriff in town.
Rather than reacting in fear to what's going on to him as a black man, he takes control of the situation. And that's a very important and significant departure in the overall history of screen depiction of black comics and black males in mainstream American movies.
He could make jokes about police brutality.
Brothers and sisters, you just got through listening to a short clip about Why We Laugh, focusing on Eddie Murphy. And if you've ever watched, any of his movies, Norbit, if you've ever seen The Clumps or anything like that, oh my goodness, gosh, the man is pretty funny. So I was thinking, brothers and sisters, what would be the best comedian tonight? What would be the best clip that I could highlight that would, focus on clean comedy, yet comedy that, you can definitely listen to and get a great laugh. And there is a particular comedian by the name of Sinbad. Now, if you have ever in your life listen to Sinbad, he is pretty funny. Very funny. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to find a couple Sinbad clips and we're going to go ahead and listen to them and, you know, be able to vibe out. It's very important to vibe out. So this is what we're going to do. So we're going to listen to a clip or two from Sinbad, a comedian who has been on stage several times. Here we go.
That most folks do all day. It's like the military. My wife and I, we're together about 6-7 years. We're married. We divorced for 10-11 years. Now we're back together, married 8 years. Because we're both so damaged, we can't be with nobody else. We had to come back home. Once you've been married to each other, you're trained. I'm trained. I ain't got time to train nobody else. She ain't got time to train nobody else. Everybody's jacked up. Go back to when you had. I thought you was crazy. Everybody crazy. I know you're crazy. I can deal with your crazy. And all you men out here 55 years old trying to date some girl 20 like she like you. Are you out your mind? She wants your house. I don't see no 20-year-old girls with a broke down 55 man with no money. You don't see no girl 20. Oh, look at the homeless dude, but he's cute. Hey. She wants you to die. If you keep messing with her, you will. You want a woman that understands the signs of stroke. That's what I'm looking for. A woman that got my medication in her purse. Open your mouth. I thought you took it. I thought I did. You want a woman that's your nurse. See, if you go to dinner with a woman that's 55 years old and your little lip curl up, she know what to do. Hey, Jamal, look at me. Jamal, look at me. She'll get you to a hospital and save your life. But a girl 20, quit making faces at me. It's not funny anymore. Now you all stroked out for the rest of your life because your little cute girlfriend didn't know the signs of stroke. She come visit the hospital. I ain't know where the stroke was. I tried. I don't understand you. I had a stroke. Well, can I have your house now? Since you can't live there no more. Marriage is about growing old together. Marriage is about falling apart at the same time. That's what makes it special. You live long enough, the two of you become one good person. You become one. One can see, one can hear. One can walk, one can use their hands. You need each other. You have to go to movies together. One listens, one watches. You become a team. One got a good right hip, one got a good left hip, and you balance. They're so cute together. No, they fall down. They need one another. Because see, once you've been with somebody so long, you just understand stuff. You have the same vision. You share glasses. You got glasses all over the house. Wait, girl, let me go. I think they're behind the stove. I always had 20/20 vision all my life. I can't see now. You know how I found out? I'm in a movie theater, and I'm the only one that just focus it. And usually other people join in with you. They were like, you might want to move down toward the front, Sinbad. So now I got the progressive glasses so I can see far at the top and I see close at the bottom. But then they told me you can drive with it. No, you can't. You got to learn the sweet spot. You got to find the sweet spot. You know how many times I stop at a stop sign? It's way out there somewhere. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. It's right here. My bad. I'm sorry. So I want to help you ladies with questions you have. anything you might have, something about a man that throws you off, something about your man that drives you crazy, I'll fix it in 13 seconds. You don't need no long counselings. Any woman, somebody, man, make you mad, anything, something, shout it out, shout it. Be romantic. What does that mean? You gotta be specific with a man. I don't know what you're talking about. Be romantic. What? Fix the screen door? What? What do you want me to do? I want romance. I want romance. What? Hold your hand? What? Then say it. Look at your man. Hold my hand. Ah, I got it. I got it. Now you finally got what you're looking for. I want romance. I want. Could you read those books? How to make love last forever. How to have romance forever. Too much work. Just say what you want. You got a man always forget your birthday? Forget that. Buy yourself a car. Look what you got me. You'll remember next year. I'll never forget your birthday again. That one cost me a lot of money. Okay, man, what confuses you most about women? I'll fix it. What confuses you most about women? And I'm going to fix it for you. I'll help you understand it. They act like nothing. You're not married, are you? Because you're talking. She ain't here, is she? Why are you talking? You ain't learned nothing. You haven't learned nothing in your life. That's why you stay in trouble. You gotta learn this. You know what she did? She did this. See, you don't know what that means. You're a single man. That means this man's in trouble. He don't even understand. She did that. They gonna be in the car. What? Why you always gotta say something? You asked me something. That's a man that's sleeping downstairs tonight. Look at all these men. Look at these married men sitting here. They're trying to assume the position of getting in no trouble. That's your job as a man, to get in trouble. That's your job. Your problem is you're trying not to be in trouble. Accept the trouble and be sarcastic with it. Piss them off. That's half the fun of being married. You did that on purpose. Oh, yes, I did. That's foreplay. They need to have training for husbands, men training for husbands. How to be a husband, how to talk, how to survive a day. You gotta practice, you gotta look in the mirror. What? Oh no, you gotta learn to make those faces. Act like you're trying to speak, but don't let nothing come out. Don't say nothing, but act like you're trying to be involved. Men are so confused. I got a son that's 20 years old. My daughter's 23. My daughter said she's trying to find a good man. I said, learn to be by yourself for a second. Don't be crying. Look, she waved. You got a man. Why you raise your hand? She think this. You with a man. She said, that's right. Look what you just did. That's right. Be by yourself. As you hold his hand. What was that about? That's right. Be by yourself. I'm talking about you. Now, if he had done that, that's right. Oh, really? You've been in the parking lot. What? What I say? Slow down. Better love that man. He got you a front row seat. At least it's good for a show. See, young, how old are you right now? How old are you? 34. You say you're still young, man. You got, see, my mom's generation, they know how to work it. My mom worked my dad. My mom know how to, my dad put patio in, build a guest room. They know how to work a brother back in the day. My dad was like a slave. You need to put that roof up. She look at her, my man can do everything. All she had to do was give him some Kool-Aid. Working it. Work. Because my mom got style. Young ladies, y'all got to get style back. Y'all angry. Y'all just mad. Smile sometime. You might have a good man, you just don't know it. You just stay so angry. What? Ladies, what are y'all mad about? What are y'all mad about? What? Because we no good. Every man no good. Every man. See, that's one woman. Every man, you dated everybody? Or did you miss somebody? Maybe that's the problem. You dating too many people. Pick one, see what happens. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. What makes a man no good? I'm gonna help ladies out. He lies. That's how you make a relationship stay alive. If a man does not lie, the relationship is done because you ask questions that make no sense. So I have to lie. If you don't want me to lie, quit asking me questions. You keep asking me questions that you know I have to lie at. Do I look fat? No. If you wasn't fat, you wouldn't have asked. That's why you asked the question. Skinny people don't say, do I look fat? Skinny people say, do you want to eat? Would you like to have a sandwich? She just wants to see how dumb you are when you tell the truth. And men, all you young men, don't you fall for this one. Even if it hurts me, tell me the truth. Let's see how stupid is the man I'm with. You lie. Now, I'm not talking about lying about cheating, lying about other women. I'm talking about little things that you have to lie about. All those little things they ask you, all kind of stupid stuff. Stupid things. Do you like this movie? No, I hate The Notebook. I hate it. It's not even real. It's not real. Women love those kind of movies where she had Alzheimer's and she didn't know him anymore and he wrote a book. Remember when I met you? We were riding a bike. In real life, he came to the hospital. You know me? No. It sounds wrong, but it's the truth. See, these books and all, remember it's all these books and these talk shows that women who don't have a man, all these books and talk shows with women who don't have a man telling you how to lose the man you got because they want you to be just as lonely as they are. Men are so simple, we freak you out. We're so simple, you can't get to it. Men are simple. We're so simple, it bothers you. You don't understand the simpleness of men. Okay, this is how simple a man. This is two men in the car and he make a wrong turn. Dude, man, that's it. We're gonna turn left and come back. That's how simple, that's solid. This is you with your wife. Oh, God. Oh. Why would you turn there? Why? Let's just go home. I don't even want to go now. I don't even want to go. The whole night is ruined because I turned left. I can turn back around. No, I have a headache now. Men sometimes heard, this is men. This is what we do to fix you up. This is a man acknowledging you. Okay, that means I heard you. But that's not enough for a woman. Okay, now say it back. Say what I said. Oh, now it's an SAT test. I had to pass the test. This is two men having a conversation. Man, you gonna go to the club? Yeah. Done. What time? What time will you be there? What? No. What way you gonna go? Well, how would you get there? If you don't know where it's at, why would you say gonna go? You don't even know where you're going. You don't even know where you're going. You said yes. You don't even know where you're going. I got a GPS. Don't overcomplicate the situation. Make it simple. What else, ladies? Men on what? Men know how to find anything. Like what? I found everything I need. I can't find your stuff. I found everything that belonged to me. Except for the one that you moved to a better spot that makes more sense. When you move my shoes to a better spot, because that's the spot you like. What else, ladies? Huh? Snoring. Did he snore when he met you? Did he snore when he met you? You didn't? Well, you sucked the life out of him. He has no air.
Oh my gosh.
He had a lot of air when you met him.
Oh.
He used to sleep at night.
Oh.
Now he's just trying to survive the night. He ain't snoring, he's dying. A little bit each night, a little bit. Y'all call it sleep apnea. We call it marriage. There's not a man here that's single with sleep apnea. No, you get sleep apnea from? Men, see, young dudes, women hit you in your sleep. A wife will tag you. She'll have a flashback or something. Look at you. You'll wake up. What the hell? And she'll lie. Something bit me too. Did you get bit? Something bit me too. Fix a spider.
Oh my God.
And I want ladies to know something. We do go through things with you. We do go through things with you. You don't even understand it. We go through menopause. Your menopause is our menopause. Your menopause is our menopause. You don't know it, but it is. Because your system is so wacky now. Your temperature system is so wacky. By my bed, I got a parka and some gym trunks. Because I don't know what temperature it's going to be when I come home. And you have to go with whatever she feels. Aren't you freezing? Aren't you freezing? Snow is coming in the window. Oh, yeah, I'm freezing. Time to put on my gym trunks. And then it changes 5 minutes later. I'm burning up. I'm hot. I'm burning up. Oh, time to put on the other suit. And then you sweat out of nowhere. It's not like sweat like this. It's, I thought she peed on me.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'm sweating. And the first time a woman has a hot flash, it looks like a heart attack. You okay? Well, I was burning up for a second. That's what I'm saying. They don't need drugs. They need to bottle menopause so you can shoot that. Something else, ladies. Any other question? Anything else, a man? Yes. He's what? He's messy. Okay, that's a woman's. What do you mean messy? My shirt's on the floor? Did the house fall down? Did the children die? Did the day go on? Does he work? Does he have a job? Leave the shirt on the ground. It ain't your shirt. Why are you stalking him around the house, following him? That's his clothes. Those are not your clothes. Look at this. Don't bother me. Look at that. Look at that. Don't bother me. You can't take it. You can't take that. Learn to do this. See how free I am? This is you. Oh, God. Oh, God. I am sick and tired of always picking up everything. Well, quit picking it up. You wearing yourself out. I left that shirt on the floor because I'm going to wear it again tomorrow. It's right where I want it as I go to the door. There's a method to the madness. What else? Okay, ladies, what else? What else bothers you about us? Because this is your night. The toilet seat, because you couldn't put it down by yourself. You didn't see it was up. You found the bathroom, how you messed the toilet seat up. Did you take your eye off the prize? Is that what you did? Did you get to the door and walk in like this? Oh, I'm almost there now. I guess it's down. I guess it's down. I won't look, because if he loves me, I shouldn't have to look. I shouldn't have to look. It's your butt. You fell in. You should look. He left the seat up because he loves you. Women don't even understand that. If the seat is up, it means I didn't pee on it. That's the best gift I can give you. If the seat is up, it means it's safe for you to sit down. If you ever walk in the bathroom and the seat is down, don't you trust it. You might stick. Yes, huh? Night humping. Night humping. It's called sleeping. So he humps you at night. If you give him some sex, he quit humping you. Just give him some sex. A little bit. He didn't want a lot. Matter of fact, if you get naked, he might freak. He hadn't had some so long. Wait, what are you doing? Wait, hey! I'm just humping. Why are you getting naked? See, know what you do to make a man stop doing stuff? Do what he's asking for. Men, see, that's how men are. You want to freak him out? Next time, when you get to bed, just get in bed naked. Come on, boy. Come on. Hey. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Excuse me.
You'll scare him. You forgot how to use your technique. Men act like they want stuff. As soon as you do it, I wasn't ready for that. It's scary.
Oh my God.
You'll be in the living room. I hope she's asleep. I'm still here. Oh, man. Isn't it funny how the whole sex thing changes once you get married? For the first 3 or 4 years, you have sex. Then you got to work. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. It's a trade. It's a trade. They'll come in naked. I'll give you some if you fix something. I fixed the light. You got to trade out. You start taking rain checks. You don't. So you date. It's all sexy. You date. What's she doing? What's she doing? We get married. You want to do something? Well, it's Tuesday. I wish you had said something earlier. I didn't. We usually do stuff on Thursday. I didn't know we were going. I need to set some DVRs. I can't. We got to tape our shows. I can't miss our shows. Get off schedule. We can't get off schedule. And then once you have a baby, all the sex stop. Women freak out. Some of women wants to have babies, like they don't want the baby to know they was freaky. The baby will see. The baby's a month old. Men can have sex with a baby looking right at him. Who's your daddy? I'm everybody's daddy. I'm your daddy. I'm her daddy. I'm everybody's daddy.
Watch. Just watch.
Women freak out on that stuff. Some of y'all got kids at your house, man, that messed up your love life. That messed up your love life. Shh, the kids will come in. Shh. You learn to have like static sex, okay? You're moving. No, I swear I'm not moving. I got asthma. I was breathing. It's your house. Those kids don't pay for nothing. Take your house back. Don't have quiet sex. Keep the door open. Be loud. They'll only come in once. And they'll never come back. Now you got your house back. That's what you do.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
Now I want to help y'all. Who got grown folks at the house? I'm going to help you. Who got grown kids can get them out the house? Got grown kids? Grown kids can get them out the house? I'm going to help you. Now, they're going to be damaged. This is going to jack them up. But they will leave your house tonight. You and your husband walk around naked and have sex. Grown kids can't take their parents having sex. It freaks them out. While they're eating breakfast, coming in naked into the kitchen. How long you gonna be here? We're gonna use that table. Oh, God, Daddy! That's nasty, Daddy. Smack your wife on the butt. Your mama's a freak. They will run out of your house. We are what we are. We can't help it. And then we get into relationships and things change. You get in relationships. That's why I tell people, before you have kids, travel, see the world. When you first get together, go places. Because once you have children, you're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese. That's all you're going. That's your Europe. That's your France. That's your Bermuda. Chuck E. Cheese. There's people here who are over 50 with no kids. They don't look old. Look at people with no kids, no wrinkles. They just sit there. Oh my God, we're going to Jamaica next week. And people with kids, you don't know the joy. You don't know the joy. Trying to make you have kids. You need some kids. Look how happy I am. Shut up.
Brothers and sisters, you have been listening to Sinbad on Marriage. Let's give Brother Sinbad a round of applause. Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Sister Speak Show. Welcome back to the Laugh Line on the Sister Speak Show. We will be back after this commercial break.
sisters, we want you to listen live and on demand to the Sister Speak Show. There are 6 segments dedicated to serving you, my brothers and sisters. We have the platform, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the laugh line, the tour, and the search effort. Oh, the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to the Laugh Line. So listen, tonight, excuse me, we have been talking about why we laugh. We listened to some clips where various brothers and sisters gave their perspective and their brief, experiences as far as being a comedian. Now, I have several other clips to play, but, we'll just play them as the Laugh Line continues to air. But we listened to, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, and we just got through listening to about 23 minutes of Sinbad. Sinbad is hilarious. What's the last stand-up comedy show that you've been to? Who's your favorite comedian? You can always chat live with us and let us know. So, brothers and sisters, we are at the last part of the show. The part where it gets real. The part where Ayanna is getting ready to hopefully get it together, number one. But I am going to present to you, she is funny, a 10-minute, hopefully it'll go 10 minutes, sit-down comedy. So, brothers and sisters, let's just go ahead and get started. I was thinking to myself, what in the world could I sit down here, and talk to you about? There are so many things I could talk about, and I want to, make sure I'm not, I censor myself and everything. But there is one thing that I must talk about, and it has to deal with public restrooms. Okay? Public restrooms that live inside of corporations such as Walmart, McDonald's, Albertsons, Walgreens, gas stations. Okay? Public restrooms. I don't know what's up with people. I don't know if it's about being lazy. I don't know if it's just, you just want to gross the next person out. But what I need to understand is, why is it, no matter what state or city you go in, whether you're traveling or you're just on your regular day and you have to use the bathroom, can't make it till you get home, so there's a place where you can go use it, so you go use it. But before you get there, a barbarian has gotten there before you. What do you mean a barbarian, Ayanna? A barbarian, an original cave person. Let's see here. What else could I say? A wartmonger. Somebody who decides that they are going to create a horror scene in the bathroom. What do you mean, Ayanna? Okay, well, check this out. I know you have walked into a bathroom having to use it. Now, we're going to go primary. Number 1, not even number 2, just the number 1. You have to urinate, okay? You walk in there and, the behind door number 1, you never know what you're going to. Who wears Skechers don't flush the toilet. I don't know, because you know how it is when you walk in the bathroom and you go in there and you close the stall and you see it's full and you look down and you see some feet, because when somebody been in there a while. See, there's 2 type of feet. Okay, there's 2 type of feet that are in a bathroom, and the 2 type of feet positions will let you know what they in there for. Okay, serious. You've got the feet that are planted. They're in there with the number 2. They taking a yit. But then you have the people who, dancing feet, la, 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 they might be squatting or they might, be standing. It's a different feet, but the feet that's been in there for a while, they in there lighting it up. And they lighten it up Because as soon as you walk in there, you're greeted by the thickest green film that you could ever be greeted with. I mean, I'm talking about a fog of stank, a thick fog of stank, like the movie The Mist. You know, like you're walking and you can't help it. You gotta go. But they've been in there, okay, conducting science experiments in the bathroom, okay, working on the cauldron, and it's rough. So, you know, you walk in there and all I'm asking you to do is just flush. That's what millions of people who have to be greeted by your loaf of cargo in the toilet. And I just feel like I said, most people with Skechers, they're the ones who don't flush. They're the ones whose feet are planted on the floor and tearing up the paint. So usually, you know, when you walk into a bathroom, you know, you expect it to be clean. It's a public establishment. You know, the Board of Health is coming in, but oh no. So look, you go through door number 1, it's catted off. Okay. So it's right there for you to see it. Now, it's nothing worse than going behind door number 2, because at this point it's like, let's make a deal. Okay. Really disgusting, but you gotta use it. So you go behind door number 2 and there it is. Skechers' cousin, Fila, has decided to leave a surprise in there for you that's barely peeking out of the toilet tissue. Okay? Disgusting. What I want to know is, if you are hiring for janitors, at what point do they come in and flush the toilets? Or is it the janitors that's doing it? I'm just saying, though, we have got to do a better job when we go into these public restrooms. You can't just tear it up just because it's not your house. You can't just come in there and lay out the village because it's not your house. Now, look, I know some of you are like, look, I have been in some serious emergencies and I have torn the paint off the walls. Look, I understand. So have I. Look, but I flush, don't you? You know, and what's so crazy is that they have a new spray out called VI Poo. What? VI Poo. They say after you dunk your donuts, to then spray above the water to lock in the funk. What? You might as well just spray it in your mouth. You might as well just eat it. Spray it on your food. Like, to make it not smell beforehand. I don't know, brothers and sisters. I'm just saying, how do you feel about the VI Poo? Do you carry VI Poo with you? Do you have VI Poo in your purse? Now, look, nothing more embarrassing than you being the one in the public restroom catting it off, and there's a line and a sister or somebody else has to go in after you. Now, I'm going to be honest. I have told this lie. I have said, you know, I just want you to know that wasn't me. Somebody came in there. They had on some Skechers. They had on some baby doll sweatpants that said baby doll across the back, and they went out that way. That wasn't me. I have several times, you know, been like, look, that wasn't me. Somebody came in here before me, you know, laid it out, you know, and it's nothing worse than having to go in the bathroom behind another woman who has not cleaned herself well. You talk about hold your breath for a long time. I'm talking about at least 5 minutes of, and you're just in there like that. You know, sisters, we've got to do a better job. And you know what? I don't know which bathroom is nastier, the men's or the women. I mean, brothers, you could probably tell me, you know, what your experiences are. But women, why are we some of the nastiest creatures? Club bathrooms, for example. If you want to use a club bathroom, you got to get there at 5 in the afternoon. Even though it opens up at 11, you just got to use it before the club even opens up, because by the time the girls and them come in fresh off of some slurricane, the whole bathroom is catted off. When you walk into a woman's bathroom at a club, you are going to see some of the nastiest things you could ever want to see. And it doesn't make any sense how a woman could be so nasty. I'm talking about, you go to wash your hands, there's throw up in the sink. You go to use the bathroom, there's throw up in the bathroom and other things in the bathroom. I mean, People are wiping with paper towels because there's no more toilet tissue. Oh, that's the worst. What have you done, brothers and sisters, when you've entered into a bathroom, already used it, got ready to wipe, and there's no toilet tissue? I want to know what kind of MacGyver skills you have had when you have not been able to have toilet tissue on deck. Ain't nothing worse than going to a public restroom, using it, and there being no tissue. And you didn't even have enough sense to even check before you even got in there to see if there was any toilet tissue. Now you have to say to the person next to you who has on a fresh pair of wedge Skechers, could you please hand me some toilet tissue? Look, I've learned now, carry some in your purse because, what you gonna do? You just gonna ride around with that? You gonna let that crust up? I'm just saying, brothers and sisters, how close have you been to almost not making it to the bathroom? Oh, that's a trial and a tribulation. See, this all corresponds with public restrooms because I'm telling you now, honestly, if it weren't for a public restroom, we'd be in trouble. But then when we get into a public restroom, we're even in more trouble. I'm just saying, though, have you ever been in a public restroom with a cricket? Oh, traveling, especially out here in Texas, the crickets love to come in around July and terrorize your life. And there's nothing worse than having to be on guard while using the bathroom while a cricket is staring at you. I'm telling you right now, it's very uncomfortable. You have to have major skills. Okay, brothers and sisters. And you know what else is the worst? Just in general, when you eat something that delicious going down, but then your body says, look, you are in your 40s. You can't eat 2 ding-dongs. You can't have 2 ding-dongs and 15 cookies. Oh, I've got something for you around 2:30 in the morning. I want to know what your 2:30 in the morning, God, I never do it again prayers sound like. How many prayers have you prayed to God if he would just carry you through this battle? Have you had? What do they sound like, brothers and sisters? I'm just saying, though. And you know what's worse? What's absolutely worse is being in a situation where you thought one thing was going to happen and something else happened. Now you've got to cut your day short. Have we ever been in that situation? You know what I'm talking about, and I'm not being gross. I'm being real because we've all experienced this. Passing gas and passing something else instead of the gas. Oh, the multitasking that takes place, the panic, the fear, the age evaluation that you give yourself. Man, I'm 27. I can't be doing this. I'm 27. I'm 50. I'm 50 still boo-booing on myself. I can't be boo-booing on myself at 50. I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown man. I gotta get this together. Do I need to get some butt glue? What do I need? Do I have to start wearing diapers? Do I need to have adult wipes? Do I need to have adult powder? Do I need some Desitin? I mean, seriously, brothers and sisters, some things happen to us as we get older and we have no control over. You start laughing, let one out. That's embarrassing. You with your friends, ha ha ha. That's embarrassing. I'm just saying though, or you're in, for me, it was one time I was taking yoga. True story. Everybody in there, it sounded like we were having trumpet practice. I'm very serious about this. There's something about yoga that'll let it out for you. And you know what? Did you know that if you don't pass gas, you could die? True story. I was working with a guy who told me that his teacher never passed gas and she died from not passing gas. Honey, I ain't never got to worry about that. Okay. I'm just saying though, it's very real. I remember, you know what, the funniest moment for me, I was with my sis and we were sitting down and we were having a meeting with a principal talking about how we could impact and help the children, not kids. Goats have kids, and how we could help the children. And when I tell you, we were sitting in the middle of that meeting and she passed gas, actually threw it down to the 2nd yard line. Oh my gosh, we couldn't stop laughing. I probably shared this before, but that is a highlight for me. Oh my gosh, that's a highlight for me. You know, we will always be put in situations where we don't know what we will do. And we are some of the funniest people on this earth. You know, it's nothing like walking into, like I said, into a public restroom and having to say, you know what? Now this is some nasty-ish. And it really be. Oh my goodness. You know what? And another thing, I'm just going to be honest. Now, when it comes to cleaning up, this is very important. Okay. I have learned that you have to have a gift for changing diapers. It's a gift. Diaper changing is a gift given to you by the Most High God. And everybody doesn't have it. Now, I believe I can change a diaper. I know I can. But one time I had to change a diaper and it was my cousin. I had to look after him and his sister. And they said, feed him according to this schedule. Give him this, give him that. Now, I am a firm believer that little children do not need to eat grown people food. They don't. They don't. That's something they need to eat when they're 10 years old. Anyway, you know, you can't give a 9-month-old eggs. I don't care how much protein you think is in it. There are other things that give you protein besides eggs. So, I stuck to the script, gave him eggs. And he used the bathroom. And you know how you smell it, but you try to pretend like you didn't because you don't want to do it. You know, you smell it. It's in the air. It's pungent. It's thick. It's real. It's in HD, hidden definitely. and it's there. You know, I couldn't do it. He used the bathroom. We unleashed the diaper, and there it was. A 52-year-old man scat. Okay, that was scat in his diaper. That was not scat. Is what bears, leave as their excrements. Okay, scat is animal feces. Okay, so there was scat in his diaper. I seen berries. I saw fur. I saw pine cones. I think I even smelled a little honey. Okay, it was grown man scat. That was not ish. They had taken the S. They had taken the H out of it and had replaced it with a, S-K-A-T, scat. They had taken the A and the K and inserted it where there was a H and an I. I got that together. I pulled it together. I can spell, but when you're on the spot, sometimes you be like, Anyway, so it was scat in there. I don't deal with scat. I thought I was babysitting a 11-month-old boy and a 5-year-old girl. I did not know this was Tarzan and Jane, okay? So I didn't change it. I went and threw up. That's just me. You can never count on me in the clutch. I will always tell you what clutches not to look for me in. There are several of them, and one of them is cleaning up throw up. You can never catch me in that clutch. And changing certain diapers. Diapers where you feel like protein is needed and it ends up resulting in scat. I'm not your girl. I'm not your girl on the ones or the twos. And for some reason, babies always want to get up and crawl away from the scat. You know why? Because they can't believe it. I'm talking about real talk, y'all. Like that diaper needed some Jenny Craig. Okay? I'm serious. That diaper needed a waist trainer. We're going to have to lighten the load here because little children have a way of scatting. Okay? And they have a way of projectile scatting. I have seen children pass gas and then scat, and then I have scrammed. Okay? And you know what? Ain't nothing like the love of a parent because a parent is able to clean up the scat and, handle it and tell the baby it's all right. Look, I'm not going to lie to no child that just scatted. Look, there's something wrong with you. You're part bear, part marsupial. You sleep upside down. You're nocturnal. No, you got to be honest. Look, you're 11 years old and you're killing the game for real out here. Like, what's up? I mean, seriously, they need to have Pepto-Bismol bottles for babies. Real talk. Please stop giving your babies grown people food. Talking about, ooh, look at him suck on that chicken bone. Because later on that night, the scat man is going to come get you. Not the boogeyman, the scat man. The scat man. I'm telling you, scat. Berries, fur, pine cones smelling like honey. I'm just saying though, okay? And this is another thing that I can't, these words right here. Ayanna, Aunt Ayanna, I don't feel good. And especially when I was teaching back in the day before I got married, Miss Autry, I don't feel good. No. I gave you guys a disclaimer in the beginning, orientation. We spent a whole week. We didn't do any studying or anything. I laid down the rules so you can know what to count on me on and what not to count on me on. I mean, I'm serious about this. Please don't tell me you don't feel good. We don't throw up in here. I don't clean up, throw up. I'm serious. I gave my students a disclaimer. There are some things you can't count on me on. I let them know, because then in the end, if something were to happen, look, they already knew from the beginning. So I let them know. I schooled my students on how to survive. I used to tell them all the time, look, if something break out, run. I mean, seriously, run. Don't look for me to lead you out. Don't look for me to cover or, lay on top of you and be, People Magazine Teacher of the Year because I took a bullet for you. That's not going to happen at all. Okay. This isn't that. This is, look, be sober, be vigilant, make sure that you are vigilant, not vigilant. Okay. Make sure that you always have your eyes open. If you hear something pop off, run. Don't stand around waiting. Don't stand around looking. Don't look for me to lead you out, because it's just not going to happen. That's what I told the students. I love them. But it's each man for himself. I'm not trying to make the cover of any magazine. I don't want anybody to memorialize me because I gave up my life because it popped off. No, look, I don't do throw up. I don't do natural disasters. I don't do any of those type of things. So here are the things that you can't count on me on. But you know what? I love my students. I really miss them. But we had a great time. I'll never forget the time. One of my students, oh my goodness, none of the teachers could deal with him. Oh my gosh, this little boy came into my classroom. We're sitting there. He had been out of the class for about maybe 5 days because he wasn't feeling good. Came back on the 6th day. We all sit up there, laughing, having a good time. The year is winding up, and the boy sneezed, and I'm gonna be honest, I have never in my life seen a pasta rotini come out of a human's nose before. A pasta rotini came out of his nose. That's what it looked like. And we all scrammed. That's how immature we were. Look, it was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. So, that's just what it was. Brothers and sisters, you know what? You've been listening to The Laugh Line, and I hope that you have been having a great time. I plan on getting a little bit more edgy with the comedy. I just don't, I'm just trying to bring you guys in and make sure you guys aren't going to run off, when I get to talk about something, because there are some other things that I want to talk about, but, I'm just trying to save it because you got to go with a nice pace, brothers and sisters. So, brothers and sisters, check this out. I want you to tune in live to the Sister Speak Show. The Sister Speak Show is dedicated towards. However, when it comes to this show, I want you to keep coming back. You've been listening to The Laugh Line, brothers and sisters, and we are live. It's Friday evening. Getting ready to close out. Tonight's subjects were Why We Laugh. We listened to comedic clips, and then we got to listen to Sinbad. And so now you can go and check out all the other clips of Sinbad and get to know him as a comedian, and you really will be laughing, And so if you have any suggestions of comedians that you would like to see on the Sister Speak Show, let me know. You can chat live. You can hit me in my DMs at SGTPGW, or you can contact me at sistergoodthing.com on the contact page. Now, let me explain something before we close out. I don't do stalking in my direct messages. I don't do crazy conversations in my direct messages. So far, it's been good until the other day. Somebody came on my page and started, liking my stuff, and then hit me off with you don't like me. What? I don't even know you. I try to keep it cool because I know me. And I be trying to spare people. Honestly, I try to spare people because it can get real different. So next thing I know, I get a DM and it's a video. Now, it wasn't any nudes, but it was a creepy video. Look, I'm not the one, and I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but if I got to tell you like a T.I. is, then I will. Some of you don't have DM etiquette. DM etiquette requires you to keep your clothes on, keep your tongue in your mouth, open up your blinds. I'm not trying to have a romantic ambiance with you. You know, some of you send some nasty DMs. I don't understand why some of you are still comfortable taking out your genitalia and taking a picture of it and sending it to somebody. Like, nobody wants to see that, bruh. Nobody wants to see that. And look, husband, I'm just letting you know, nobody sent me any of those pics. I'm just saying, though, we don't want to see that. And I don't want anybody in my DMs with the mess. What's up? Anyway, brothers and sisters, look, you've been listening live to The Laugh Line. I am your host, Ayanna. I have had a wonderful time speaking with you. I've had a wonderful time sharing with you how we must conduct ourselves in the bathrooms. And I've also let you know that you have to look out for Skechers. Skechers are on the loose. Every time I see a Skechers commercial, I cringe. Now, some of you may be wearing a pair of Skechers right now, and I'm praying for your deliverance. Oh, goodness, brothers and sisters. Listen, we got a couple more commercials, and we'll be back, and we'll be closing.
Sisters, I want you to listen live to the tour this Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The tour is a show dedicated to the entire aspect of the music industry. My special guest live from Miami, Florida, SDYP, the movement recording artist, Miss Stiletto. Oh, this is going to be a dope show. This is the Speak Show, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Sister Speak Show. One more commercial.
Hi, this is Ayanna, the host of the Sister Speak Show, and I want you to listen live to...
Brothers and sisters, I don't want you to listen live tonight to the search effort because the search effort is not coming on this evening. Here we go.
Next on the Sister Speak Show, Tuesday, January 2nd, coming to the stage. Wednesday, January 3rd, the premiere of the search effort. Thursday, January 4th, the culture climate. Friday, January 5th, the laugh line. Saturday, January 6th, the tour with Miss Stiletto. And Sunday, January 7th, the platform with Danielle Lee. The Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve.
Brothers and sisters, thank you so much for listening to The Laugh Line. I want you to tune in tomorrow night. My special guest will be Ms. Stiletto, calling in from Miami, Florida. Ooh, I'm so excited. And then guess what? Sunday we have Danielle Lee on the platform. Oh, we're not going to stop. Brothers and sisters, I want you to, stay warm this evening. And I want you to tune in again tomorrow. I hope everything goes well for you. I hope that you continue to press. I hope you continue to laugh. I hope you continue to rise above the suffering that you're experiencing. And I hope that you are able to get to a place where you can be content and not covet. You know, just be content with where you are, content with the little, content with the lot. You know, your situation can change immediately. And one thing I have learned about laughing is that it has released some tears. Have you ever laughed to the point where you've cried? Yes, that's how you know that laughter is good for the soul. Until we meet next time, brothers and sisters, I'll chat with you later. Take care. Have a good evening.